Okay, so for the month of April, I am challenging myself to use up acrylic yarn. And I have this entire soft bin in my garage of acrylic yarn scraps that have come from me and my grandma combined, and maybe even my aunt a little bit. So I bought the 6-day star blanket pattern. Editor Jerry will put it here for you. There is a free YouTube tutorial. I plan on using the tutorial for some of it, but I like having a written pattern since I don't consider myself a beginner. I think I can go faster with the written pattern, but I have all kinds of like mostly red heart yarn in here of scraps, and that's what I'm hoping to use up almost all, probably all of them. The pattern says for a throw sized blanket you need like 2,500 yards, so I think I can do some math. Hang on. With that means I need approximately 48 ounces. Hopefully I did that math right. 16 ounces in a pound, so that's 3 pounds of yarn. It's quite a bit of yarn. So I'm going to pull some of this out, weigh it, write it down, and start clocking the 6-day star blanket. Okay, so star blanket, almost 1 hour has been completed. I used up 1.7 ounces of this blue ombre yarn, and I just attached this, it's called Icelandic, and I got like the last 3 stitches. So originally I was going to go from blue to this gray, but I found this little bit of Icelandic which has blue and gray in it. So I'm going to use up that first. There's not very much of it. I might have enough for 1 round, maybe. And then I'll go into the gray after that. But this was 1 full hour, and this was the first 9 rounds of setup. I did buy like the generic star blanket pattern. I guess there's other versions. I just did 6-day star blanket, like the OG, not the supernova or anything. And I followed along with the video. I was able to go a little bit faster than the video. I think the tutorial is like 1 hour and 15 minutes, but I skipped a lot ahead. So I'm glad I bought the pattern so I can go at my own pace. But I don't remember, did I say I'm using an 8mm hook? She says to size up so there's no like curling. All right, so star blanket update. I worked on it for just a little over 1 hour and 10 minutes, and I have my first 6-row repeat done. Let me get it all nice and laid out for you to see. So here we are. I switched to gray. My color change has been actually like pretty on point, to be honest. Here we go. I am taking as detailed notes as possible about the yarn weight and color and the time for the round, like the repeat round and stuff like that. So there you go. I think I'm probably done for the day, to be honest, and I'm just going to work on my other projects now. I feel really good. All done for tonight. I will catch you up on another day. Bye. Hello, it is April 17th, and last night I worked way past what I said I was going to because I got stuck watching a show, and I was just like fast crocheting and in the zone. So I got another full repeat done, which is from the sparkles to the light blue. And then I started on the dark green for the next round of repeats. So this would be like all of this blue is the setup. Starting with this variegated yarn is row 2 through 7, first time. This sparkling yarn through the light blue is 2 through 7 the second time. So, and if I read the pattern correctly, for a throw size blanket, she recommends doing the repeat like 5-ish times. So this is how big it is right now. I haven't measured it. Let me see if I can get a good measurement. I usually measure from like the point to all the way across to like not a point, basically. But I don't actually know the correct way that she measures it to get to that length or that, I don't know, that size. I don't have words. So right now it's measuring at 29 inches. So it's almost like baby length because she says 40 inches would be the baby length. So there you go. It's pretty good. I worked on it for an additional 2 hours and 39 minutes last night. So from the sparkly blue to the this like lighter blue. Took 2 hours and 39 minutes last night. It is starting to take a lot longer to get around just because the blanket's getting bigger. But yeah. So now I'm going to start with some, I don't know how much I'll work on it today. I think my hands need a break. But I want to start with the dark green around to do the clusters. Where am I? Here we go. Dark green around to do the clusters. And then I'm going to move to this like really pale green. And then I don't know what I'll grab after that. I think I'm definitely going to grab some more blue. But I also could grab another shade of green that I have and just do a big green section. I haven't decided yet. I have like a good sage green. So we shall see about that. I could also go from dark green to like the sage green and then the pale green. I think I want to wait and see how far this gets me. And then I'll decide. Maybe I will do a big green section. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. But I am having fun picking colors out for it and like moving along. I think the colors are looking fine for just using scraps and going off the vibes. The only thing I'm really trying to do is to get these clusters a different color. So if you see here, like these clusters are that variegated yarn, and then these clusters are the sparkly yarn, and now these clusters are where we started the green. So if I can get the clusters to keep like popping a bit and standing out, I think that'll make the blanket just look a little bit more visually appealing. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. Okay, bye. I've worked on this for like 3, 4, almost 4 hours, so just the same as yesterday. And I will show you how far I got. I'm about to start, or I just started the 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be the 4th round of the repeat. And this is where we're at. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it. Oh, that's a little bit better. Oh, that's backwards also. We don't want to look at the ugly side. There we go. So it is getting rather large. So here is the first part, the first repeat, or sorry, yeah, the first round of repeat rows, second round of repeat rows. Green was the 3rd round of repeat rows. Now this is going to be the 4th round of repeat rows with the yellow. So I'll bring it a little bit closer and see if the camera can pick it up better. But since it's nighttime, might have to wait till morning. Okay, hi, hello. Today is the 18th. And last night, I think I showed you that I'd gotten far. And then I worked on it again for an hour and 20 minutes. And then I had to frog everything I had just done because I messed up. I had messed up like one of these clusters back here, but I had gotten like through some of these double crochet rows, then had to undo them all, fix this, redo it all. Here we are. So my plan from here on out is to use this first, and hopefully this gets me through the clusters. Someone bought this for a scarf during Christmas time. Yeah, one of my friends bought this, so I'd make him a scarf. This was the leftover. It says it's a 5 weight, but I've compared it to like the other worsted acrylics I have, and it's very, very not a 5 weight. So we're gonna use up that. And then for the rest of the blanket, I sorted all of the yarn into colors, and I definitely have the most of the blues. So we're gonna go back to the blues, and basically I'm just gonna grab a ball, tie it on, grab a ball, tie it on. And I didn't expect that to actually ruin my night. I thought it was gonna be like intense, you know? Yeah. And like nail biting, and then it would be over, and we would be like, oh shucks. I didn't know like the main guy. It does make me want to watch The Walking Dead though, because we left off at such a pivotal moment. Okay, so I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna like rage finish this tonight and just be super tired tomorrow, or if I'm gonna go to bed like in a minute and just finish this tomorrow. I will say I was going back and forth on what color to make the clusters for this final round, because I got to the point where like no one like ball was enough, and I knew I'd have to mix some colors, and I'm very happy with what I chose. I chose the pinks and purples, And it looks really, really good. Even in the parts where there's like magenta, it's like a darker pink for a while. It's done. It's done. It's done. I have all the stats. It's done. I did it. Okay, so technically there's two ends to weave in, which is the one in the very beginning and the one at the very end. But otherwise, it's done. I can use it as a real blanket. Ta-da! Okay, let's get some of this in here. There's some greens, some yellows, grays, lots of blues. Done. Okay, I have all the stats. I hope you appreciated it. I'll probably show it 8 more times before I'm done. So here we go. I broke down the rounds of the blanket. So round 0 is the setup, which is like this stuff right here. Okay. And then starting with each of these different colorful clusters. I don't even know if you could hear that since I was behind the blanket, but ground 0 is the setups. And then for every row 2 through 7 repeat was like given a number 1. So we have 0 through round 6, round 0 being the start, row 6 being this very last round from like here to here to here. So there you go. Okay. I don't know if any of that just made sense, but total days actually worked on this blanket was 6. I took 6 actual regular days, worked on the blanket. So total hours spent on the blanket was 20 hours, 35 minutes, and 42 seconds. But that wasn't split up evenly between the days. So the daily time breakdown. Oh, I don't even think I broke down the daily time amounts. I didn't. But it was very different every single day. Like 3 or 4 hours one day, 5 hours another day. And then there was a day in here that I only spent 35 minutes. Another day where I spent 2.5 hours. So each of those 6 days that I worked on it were all very different. But 20 hours total, 20 hours, 35 minutes total over 6 days. So I guess if you just did like really quick math, you should spend about 3 hours a day on it. 4 hours maybe. Okay, anywho. The starting rounds took me just under 1 hour. They took me 59 minutes and I used 1.7 ounces of yarn. For the first repeat round, which is from this blue-gray ombre to the end of the gray, right here. It's really hard to show this on camera. This much took me 1 hour and 10 minutes. Okay, I'll be right there. 1 hour and 10 minutes, and it was 2.4 ounces of yarn. Okay, for the second round, which starts at the blue sparkly and goes all the way up till we get to the green, this took 2 hours, 39 minutes, and it was 3.5 ounces of yarn. Then for round 3, which is where the greens start, so the dark greens all the way up to the sage green that almost looks gray right here. This was 2 hours, 36 minutes, 29 seconds, and it was 4.7 ounces of yarn. Okay, and then this is where it gets a little weird, and I think it's because of the type of yarn it was. But for where the yellows start, I think these yellows were varying textures and thicknesses and thinnesses and silkiness that I tied all these yellows together from. But basically from the yellow through this section of gray ombre, that took me, where am I? Here we go. 4 hours, 48 minutes, 28 seconds. That was 6.9 ounces of yarn. So that really big jump is what makes me think that it was the yarn types of all these yellow yarns, and maybe some of them were finer and I ended up using more or something, or they were denser. I'm not sure, because I can't assume that all of these were all Red Heart brand. They were probably all whatever brand me and my grandma had bought and just threw balls in there over the years, right? So there's that. What's also interesting is the amount of time I spent on this is noted that there was an hour and 20 minutes of work that was all done, like I frogged and had to redo. So I had done, basically what happened was I did yellow row, gray row, and halfway through this gray row, I realized that this yellow row was messed up. So I had to frog like 1, 2.5 rows of work and go back and redo it. So that amount of time was so much higher because of the hour and 20 minutes I spent frogging. Not frogging, but fixing what I had frogged. Like a redo, basically. Okay. Now that that's over. For round 5, it kind of goes back to normal after that. So for round 5, which is this fuzzy blue to this like darker navy blue. Most of it's just a bright blue, but I had this dark navy blue and this little bit of dark navy blue along this single crochet border. So from fuzzies all the way to this navy blue. That was 3 hours, 36 minutes, 21 seconds. And I used 5.4 ounces of yarn. Pretty normal. I do feel like this blue fuzzy yarn went a long way for how much it weighed. And this was part of like a Karen cake. It was like a Karen Colorama cake that was on clearance, so they don't make it anymore. Anyways, I had the label for that. That's why I know what it was. Last but not least, the final section, round 6, which is where the purple starts. Purple all the way to the very end up here. This was 4 hours, 45 minutes, 26 seconds, and 7.4 ounces of yarn. My total ounces of yarn was 32 ounces. So there you go. 32 ounces of yarn, 20 hours, a little over 20, so 20.5 hours of work. And she's done. I can use her at my house. Let me see if I can back up and like really show you guys on my body. I have no clue how long this is because my tape can't really measure it anymore. But it does. Okay, so the point is touching my toe. So these are 2 points. The bottom point is touching my foot. So I can like literally wear this like a cape, which is kind of perfect when you're talking about blankies. The 7 point is kind of nice. I thought the 7 point was kind of silly, but it is really nice. Okay, so there you go. 'Tis done. So if I were to flip this and hold just one single point, let's see, hold one single point. The 2 points at my feet are right there. Now they're touching the top of my feet. And I'm holding this point. So yeah, definitely big enough for me. And in case you weren't sure, I am 5'4" maybe. My license says I'm 5'4". I think at the doctor's I'm usually in that range. So there you go. It's definitely over 5 foot. It's definitely more than like a throw size, because throw size would be 5 foot exactly. I'm pretty proud of it. All with scraps. So this is my bag of blue yarn scraps. And then this is what's left in my bin. I used so much of it. There's hardly any left and I'm so happy. So, I already have a plan for those scraps to use the rest of those up. I can't tell you what it is. It's a surprise. But I happened to be roaming around Michael's and I saw a thing and I bought a thing and then I was like, this would be a really good challenge for a YouTube video. So there you go. That's done. The 6-day star blanket is done. It is legitimately a 6-day blanket. I honestly could have done it in less days if I would have had more hours to dedicate per day, but I would also do other things. I do other custom orders. I'm a mom, right? So there you go. Okay, on April 16th, I spent 4 hours, 48 minutes, 58 seconds. On April 17th, I spent 5 hours, 18 minutes, 2 seconds. Okay, and then on the 18th, I spent 4 hours, 37 minutes, 47 seconds. The 19th was 35 minutes and 29 seconds. The 21st was 2 hours, 35 minutes, 51 seconds. And then finally, today, I spent 2 hours, 39 minutes, 35 seconds. So there you go. I definitely spent a lot more time in those first 3 days. that I did for the rest of it. But yeah, it was perfect. Love it. I 100% plan on making another one. I think I'm gonna make some for my kids. I know I've talked about ordering like that cloud cake, and I don't know that I will make that into blankets for my kids, but I 100% want to make my kids some star blankets maybe over Christmas, and I will kind of ask them what colors they want and do it that way. Also, I saw on the website, what's her name, Betty McKnit. I'll be right there. I also saw on Betty McKnit's website that she has a Taylor Swift Eras blanket, and it's with the Superstar, so it has 14 points. And I really want to make that because I am a big Swiftie, so that might be a future project as well, but that is very not for sure yet. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you loved this video. I know it wasn't a vlog, so I hope you were okay with it. I hope you loved it. All right. Sorry, my nose is so itchy. Okay. Thank you for watching. Love you. Thank you. Thank you. Love you. If you subscribed, I'll give you 4 head kisses. Okay, bye.